Please welcome Okta's Senior Vice President of Design and Research, Kristen Swanson.
Welcome to the Okta Platform Keynote! I am thrilled to see so many familiar faces out there. And you all know, because we've been saying it for years, to get security right, you have to get identity right. And the number of identities in your organization continues to explode. Employees, contractors, non-human identities, AI agents, and devices under your care are growing exponentially. And while everything around us is in flux, identity is the constant. But this year is different. We've got AI agents in our workplaces now. They are unpredictable, non-deterministic, connected to all of your tools and data, and being deployed faster than we can secure them. Now, we've all heard the stories of unsanctioned customer agents that are giving out discounts they shouldn't, or deleting entire production repos. This is not a drill. Okay, show of hands, how many of you are deploying AI agents in your organization right now? Whew, a lot of hands. And for those of you without your hands up, you sure? But luckily, this isn't our first rodeo. We've secured non-human identities for years. You know, those rogue service accounts and static credentials. And we've secured those unpredictable, non-deterministic identities for years too. Humans. With the arrival of AI agents, we need to combine these two capabilities and provide security for non-human, non-deterministic entities. And this is no small task. In this year's Okta AI at Work report, almost every organization rolling out AI agents stated that they don't have a strategy or a roadmap for managing them. Poorly built, deployed, or managed AI agents expand the attack surface with credential exposure, excessive privileges, and prompt injection. Identity remains the security perimeter, but the old categories of tools will not work for these new problems. Working with a problem of this scale requires a holistic approach. Duct taping a bunch of point solutions together, it won't work. You need an identity security fabric, a unified approach that simplifies control while strengthening protection. This helps ensure that non-human identities, including those AI agents, can be safely secured before, during, and after authentication. Okta is the only platform designed from the ground up with all of the capabilities you'll need to secure the entire AI agent identity lifecycle. No matter where it comes from, who owns it, or what it's connected to. And buyer beware. A consolidated contract that checks the box on a laundry list of features is not the same as a unified identity security platform. You need a platform that delivers comprehensive security outcomes. This means a single platform for every identity type, every identity use case, and every resource type fused together with end-to-end orchestration. This is about so much more than security theater. It means risk signal sharing between every piece of the fabric and the ability to automate real-time action, keeping your organization safe from attackers, mistakes, and even rogue AI agents. Now, I speak to CISOs, CIOs, CTOs, and so many of you out there in the audience every single day. Look, there's Macy. I talk to him like almost every day. You all agree, achieving end-to-end security outcomes through seamless orchestration is the only way to navigate our AI-enabled future. Good news? We're there. Okta already has a suite of products beyond core access management, from posture management to governance, privileged access, device access, and identity threat protection. Each is individually excellent, but collectively, they are spectacular. And of course, an identity security platform without integrations is like a guitar without an amp. On its own, it's enjoyable, but when you plug it in, it can really rock a stadium. And when it comes to integrations, Okta has got you covered. We are about so much more than just the breadth of integrations. And this year, we launched secure identity integrations. Out-of-the-box security integrations for over 50 of your most business-critical enterprise apps. They go so much deeper than simple SSO, giving you robust functionality, including passwordless auth by FastPass and lifecycle management for automated provisioning and deprovisioning. There's also rich depth with advanced integrations for universal logout, entitlements management, Okta workflows, and ISPM. Secure identity integrations save companies countless hours and enhance their security posture. Now, earlier today, you heard Todd announce cross-app access as part of our new solution, Okta for AI agents. This enables you to manage which apps and agents can have access to your internal resources. And these protocols provide a consistent way to apply access controls, no matter what technologies your business chooses. We partner at Okta closely across the ecosystem to give customers more integrations, more choice, and more flexibility. A great example of this is our recent collaboration with Google Chrome Enterprise. We deepened support for managed profiles and Okta device access to secure the browser on any device. For security and IT teams, that means simpler protection of corporate data, with Chrome Enterprise adding even more control. And today, we are excited to announce a multi-year agreement with Chrome to jointly innovate on security posture and real-time contextual policy enforcement. Our work with Google Chrome is a powerful example of the identity security fabric in action. It's not just integration, it's orchestration. And by extending the fabric to a critical resource, the browser itself, we give you the end-to-end protection you need to secure your organization. Every integration and every standard is another stitch in the identity security fabric. And this is what makes the fabric real. Not just unifying identities in Okta, but orchestrating identity security threads across your entire technology environment. And since no two stacks are the same, we have to have the fabric span the diversity of tools and platforms you already use, not just one vendor's ecosystem. And today, we'll show you how to weave those threads together. See what I did there? But first, I want to introduce you to a beloved Okta customer who is embracing the identity security fabric right now. Roll the video.
As we're becoming more and more reliant upon AI, for us, identity is the new perimeter.
If you're not confident that your AI can securely access your data, you shouldn't use it. Full stop.
Box is an AI-first company, and we want to enable our users with the AI tools that can make them more productive.
When we talk about AI first, we're talking about AI first with security. If you're not careful, your concern will be that the AI becomes your biggest data leakage point that you have, because AI is just not good at keeping secrets.
We want to enable Boxers to do work seamlessly and without friction.
Okta has really helped us provide frictionless access options to Boxers, which helps in their innovation, especially as we grow
Okta's identity governance allows us to be really thoughtful about just-in-time access. We were able to implement zero standing privileges for many of our endpoint devices to really reduce our attack surface.
And with workflows, we are also able to build custom integrations with our collaboration tools. We are able to build some notification alerts for our security teams as well to understand what is normal and what is not expected.
It is a platform that will continue to utilize the best techniques so that it's able to evolve into the next class of challenges. Not only for the last 5 years, but then also moving into the world where you're working with AI, you're working with agents.
So as we bring on new AI tools, it's really important that they integrate with our existing identity security fabric in Okta.
Box is really excited to partner with Okta to bring on their Agentic AI capabilities, try to bring in some additional controls on how we manage these AI agents and non-human identities in the future.
What we're living through is a technology disruption that is arguably the biggest that we've experienced in our careers. And this is a critical evolving area across all enterprise.
It gives us a lot of confidence knowing that we have a partner like Okta to help tackle this journey together.
Please welcome to the stage, CTO at Box, Ben Koos. Enjoying Vegas?
Of course.
Absolutely. So I'm really delighted to be talking to you today because you have been at the forefront of AI for over a decade. And so much has changed in the last couple of years, including obviously AI agents. What does building an agentic future mean to Box? And how are customers leveraging the technology securely?
Yeah. So for us at Box, our whole life is unstructured data. We're an unstructured data platform. And so when you're thinking of things like files and documents and images and audio and video, these are things that historically you haven't really been able to apply intelligence to because it was just too hard from the technology perspective. But now with generative AI and AI agents in particular, one of the key things that our customers are really excited about is being able to use AI agents to help you do more work, doing things like having agents like help you research, help you find the things that you want, extracting structured data from some of your unstructured data, being able to do participating workflows. So all these kind of things are where people are starting to see more and more of their unstructured data, which is often like the vast bulk of data in these organizations, and they're able to apply agents to do more. But as they go to do this, there's this like very big, huge problem, which is what do these agents have access to? To the point, like agents are designed to be very helpful, and if they have access to data, then they will tell you about it. And so one of the challenges, the first thing you need to do is to make sure that not only the agents recognize the identity of the person, but they also recognize what that person has access to in real time, up to date. And this is where if you don't get this kind of thing correct, then you end up not being able to deploy AI agents, and certainly not in critical workloads and workflows. And so this is the sort of challenge that we sort of focus on and that many of our customers are thinking through as they're looking to adopt these kind of new AI agent technologies.
Yes, you were telling me backstage, AI doesn't keep secrets.
AI doesn't keep secrets, yeah.
As enterprises embrace AI, Box has been helping customers get the most out of their content. So with Okta as a foundation for secure identity, how is Box moving quickly to keep pace with AI industry while still maintaining that critical trust?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I think as you look through these enterprise platforms like Okta, like these different platforms that companies have, you start to realize that for something like agents, you see these parallels between how agents work and some of the challenges you've seen previously. Like we all have gotten used to the idea of the best practice around identity, around deploying things like multi-factor authentication, about logging, and all of the things that go into securing an organization. And then you look at AI agents, and then suddenly you have this interesting mixture of problems. They kind of act like infrastructure, they kind of act like a system you deploy, but they also start to act like people. And in particular, AI agents are kind of also naive. They can be tricked. So one of the big challenges, of course, is if the AI agent can read a document, or if it gets an email, if it's monitoring some input or some direct prompt from the user, like the users can trick them, or a malicious user can actually poison the data to then get the agent to do something you weren't expecting. And so these kind of things need to be built in from the very beginning and key focus for every platform to be able to provide that kind of agentic specific, but still built on the best practices of what we know from people and put those together.
Yeah, I love hearing about all of these big ideas. And maybe just one more question. Tactically, what are the key identity security initiatives your team is focused on to further enable Box's growth and accelerate AI adoption across the enterprise?
Yeah, so one of the things that is very important to us is that our focus will be on unstructured data. We build our agents to really, that's all we do is unstructured data agents that do a lot of these kind of more advanced capabilities. But a lot of enterprises will want to utilize that along with their agents that talk to their HR data or to their CRM data or to their structured data systems. And suddenly, even if each of these different systems are secure, then you might have a problem if you bring them together in ways that are not secure in aggregate. And this is where working with Okta and your the different frameworks and the different products you just announced, we think is critical to build not just a bunch of secure AI agents, but a bunch of secure AI agents that work together in an AI agentic ecosystem. And we think this is a big part of what every enterprise needs to be thinking about going forward.
I can't thank you enough for being here today, Ben, and thank you so much for sharing with our customers.
Thank you.
Have a good one. So, as you heard from Ben, an identity security fabric that doesn't cover your entire ecosystem leaves you vulnerable. It needs to cover every identity type, every identity use case, and every resource type. Next up, we're going to hear more about that from my friend, Okta Vice President of Product Management, Jack Hirsch. Give him a round of applause for
me. All right. Thank you so much, Kristen. It's great to be here today to chat a bit more about everyone's favorite new coworkers, AI agents. Now, we've already spent over a decade working alongside you to secure the most unpredictable entities in your organization, us humans. And everything we've learned together has prepared us for this moment. The conversations we're having are not just about risk, they're about ambition. Your organizations want to move fast, but as security leaders, you know that a wave of uncontrolled invisible agents creates unacceptable security gaps. And the core challenge is this: how do you say yes to the business without losing control? That is the foundation for a secure agentic future, one where security isn't friction, it's the accelerator. Now, over the last year, my team has spoken to so many of you about how we're securing AI in your organization. We've heard how you're bringing agents from prototype to production. We've heard your successes, we've heard your challenges, stories of rogue service accounts, scattered API keys, prompt injections, and we've even heard about a couple of agents who, after some heated arguments, are no longer on speaking terms. For everything except that last one, Okta is here to help. The Okta platform covers not only humans, machines, and devices, but we're also excited to announce that we're covering AI agents. Now, while AI agents are new, all the best practices to secure them are not. In every conversation with our customers, we hear the same 3 needs for AI agents. Visibility, where are they and who owns them? Control, what apps and data can they access? And governance, how do we keep them and their access secure over time? This is how we help you say yes to the business. With Okta, you can finally have a security framework that enables rather than inhibits AI adoption. With Okta, you can secure the end-to-end thread for AI agents before, during, and after authentication. Now, in the main keynote, we announced Okta for AI agents. It's going to be your toolkit for safely unleashing the power of AI in your organization, and it includes everything you need to build your agents secure by design and manage them in your identity security fabric. So, let's see it in action. Today we're going to follow Anna, the admin for Streamward, one of the fastest growing streaming platforms out there. The Streamward customer support team was so excited to see how helpful an AI agent could be, so they spun up a support agent. The agent connected to Salesforce and Google Workspace and a whole lot of other crown jewel apps, and it's been super helpful for them. But Anna and her security team don't even know that this agent exists. But luckily for Anna, Streamword has an identity security fabric. So let's see how Okta gives her the visibility she needs for AI agents just like this. And with Okta's Identity Security Posture Management, or ISPM, that is no longer a problem. This is the ISPM homepage. As we saw earlier, it shows identity misconfigurations across Anna's environment for all identity types, including non-human identities. So let's take a look into those. Here, ISPM is automatically discovering the service accounts and static credentials that are being used by both humans and AI agents. And here, it found there's a privileged service account being used to access Salesforce with static credentials that are not vaulted. Yikes. ISPM doesn't just find risks, it goes further by providing recommendations for better security and letting Anna orchestrate those remediations in line. In this case, it recommends that we register and secure that service account and then associate it with the right AI agent to get this all under control. Now with a single click, Anna's accepted ISPM's recommendation and then seamlessly navigates over to the admin console to register the service account and assign that an owner, preserving all of the context from that risk recommendation, as you can see on the right side here. Now, back in Universal Directory, Anna sees that the agent has become a first-class identity right next to her humans. And that's because Okta provides a unified meta directory for humans, machines, and agents all in a single place. Now, in the beginning of this demo, ISPM flagged that this customer support agent had privilege rights in Salesforce, which again is a huge risk. So to lock that down, we'll go to the customer service agent and connect that agent to Salesforce using the secured service account. So instead of hard-coded or exposed account credentials, they're managed in the Okta Privileged Access Vault. The result here is that the agent can still do its job, and the support team is still seeing all of those efficiency gains, but now with the right, secure guardrails in place. Now again, we just saw the discovery of a rogue AI agent with unsecured static credentials, brought under control and secured in a single platform. But AI agents spin up fast, and they can get abandoned just as quickly. Without governance, these agents and their access can linger long after they're needed. With Okta Identity Governance, Anna can run an access certification campaign that includes agents and all the resources they have access to. This way, the human owners can review them to help ensure that agents never have too much access. So, let's recap what we just saw. Instead of a world where AI agents are invisible, overprivileged, and unmanaged, with Okta, Anna can see them, control them, and govern them. This is a truly complete lifecycle approach for AI agents, all possible on a single platform with Okta. We are obviously very excited about what we just showed you. But today, there are fundamental challenges around how agents get access to resources in the first place, forcing you as security leaders into a terrible choice. On one hand, agents can be built with static credentials or API tokens. This is simple, but it's also a massive security risk. These are just non-human identities that can be over-permissioned, long-lived, and tough to govern. Now, on the other hand, you have end-user managed OAuth consents. These shift the burden of security from you to your end users, which is a nightmare in an enterprise. You can end up with Sam over in accounting giving some random app read-write access to his entire Box drive. And these grants are really hard to track. The end user experience is also terrible. Each user ends up having to provide consent one app grant at a time. And neither of these options are good enough. And that has hindered secure AI adoption. And as you heard already, we believe in leading with open standards to solve the industry's hardest problems. And that's why we've invested the last 2 years working alongside standards bodies on cross-app access. This is a new open protocol that's built as a simple extension of OAuth that transforms how apps and agents request access to data in an enterprise, not by asking the end user every time, but instead going through the identity provider. It delivers 3 critical benefits. First, admins are back in control. It replaces those end user consents with a centralized set of security policies that you define and manage. Second, it eliminates all standing access. Policies are enforced in real time for every single connection. And third, users no longer see those dreaded thousands of OAuth consent screens. This removes the risk of poor authorization and is a massive improvement in user experience. We are thrilled to share that the technical foundation for cross-app access has been adopted by the IETF OAuth Working Group, which is a major step in the protocol becoming a standard. Now, as you heard, cross-app access will of course be available as part of the Okta for AI Agents offering next year. And if you want to see a deeper demo of the entire admin experience, please look for the demo booth in the expo hall. Now, Okta is once again championing open standards because as the world's leading independent and neutral identity provider, it's our responsibility to advance the industry and be the rising tide of security for all our ships. But securing AI agents and people inside of your organization is just one side of the equation. What about securing identities that typically exist outside of your 4 walls? In today's digital world, your most valuable asset isn't your product or your service. It's the trust you build with your customers and your business partners. But you can't always force them to use a specific tool. Their identities must be brought into your identity security fabric for full visibility, control, and governance. And it has to be frictionless. Friction in the login process can lose you a customer forever, and a single breach in your digital supply chain can destroy your brand trust with all of your partners. Last Oktane, we promised to accelerate our investment in Okta customer identity, and this past year, we have delivered. We made it seamless for your partners to bring in their own trusted identities. We made logins faster and more secure, and we hardened your defenses against attacks. That was just the beginning. Today, we will show you how we're extending the identity security fabric to cover every customer and every partner you work with before, during, and after authentication. Let's start before authentication. Now, to better manage the chaos of all of your external identities, we're introducing Advanced Directory Management for Okta Customer Identity. Now, to show you how this works, let's go back to Anna, the primary admin at Streamward. Hundreds of partners need access to Streamward's internal systems. These are agencies, studios, marketers, and more. And for Anna, this is chaos. And this is precisely why we created Realms. Realms are a key part of Advanced Directory Management. With Realms, each partner gets their own secure container inside of the main Okta org that Anna administers. All she has to do is create the realm, add the partner's domain, and then use realm assignments to automatically import users from that partner's directory. And done. And because she's already set up access policies for Streamward, she can easily apply those same policies to all of their partners. Now, from a single pane of glass, all of those policies can be leveraged for partner identities as well. So let's introduce you to Jason. Jason's an admin over at News Media, one of Streamward's many business partners. To offload day-to-day tasks like managing apps, assigning groups, Anna delegates those tasks over to Jason, the partner admin. This gives Jason the power to manage his own team, while Anna keeps complete control over what they can access. This lets her small team at Streamward handle way more scale. Great job, Virtual Anna. So all of this helps ensure the right access at scale before authentication. During auth, we face a whole new set of challenges for external users. Now let's meet Sean, a Streamward TV subscriber on his family vacation, trying to have a nice dinner. His kid, however, has decided that life cannot continue without a show called Puppy Island now. Many of us can relate to this very high-stakes situation. So Sean tries to log in, and boom, he's hit with a password prompt. Uh-oh, does he remember it? Will he have to reset it again? But most importantly, will the restaurant survive the tantrum? What if Streamward could provide an experience where Sean never had to remember a password because he never had one in the first place? Luckily for Sean and everyone else in the restaurant, he has no password. He just looks at his phone, a quick face scan, and boom. Puppy Island is on, crisis averted, the restaurant and Sean's vacation are saved. Now, for far too long, this has not been the reality for most businesses. And that's precisely what we're helping you deliver with passkeys. Many of you have already experienced the magic of passkeys. Quick face scan, fingerprint, you're in. And it's available today in Okta Customer Identity. They're secure, phishing resistant, and they deliver a massive improvement in user experience. This is a significant difference in time savings for your end users, especially considering passkeys can work across devices. The seamless experience is everywhere your users are. And the best part is that for Streamward's admin, Anna, this was as easy as flipping a switch in the same admin console she knows and loves with Okta Workforce Identity. But you can't stop there, because attackers are getting smarter and finding new ways to exploit user sessions, both during and after the point of authentication. This is a blind spot for so many, and it's a direct threat to your customers' trust. Many of you are familiar with identity threat protection with Okta AI and how it helps protect your workforce from identity attacks across your stack in real time. Now we're bringing that same power to Okta Customer Identity. With identity threat protection, you will get continuous threat monitoring, bot protection with Okta AI, transparent CAPTCHA, enhanced breach credential protection, and a whole lot more. Now let's see how bot protection works for a different Streamward TV subscriber, Becca, who's still living in the dark ages of passwords. Ew. Well, she enters her username and password. But behind the scenes, Okta isn't just checking the password. Okta AI is analyzing the context of the login itself. When the system detects something anomalous, it does not ask Becca to select all the images containing a crosswalk. They all contain a crosswalk. Instead, it runs a transparent CAPTCHA in the background to verify she's a real person. In this case, thankfully, it really is human Becca, and she continues with no interruption to her streaming experience. So you just saw how identity threat protection works to prevent a bot attack during authentication. But securing access does not stop at login. Over time, roles change, permissions creep, all becoming security risks. And that's why we're bringing Okta Identity Governance to Okta Customer Identity. We are thrilled about this, because now you can secure and govern your partners and your customers, ensuring their access is always secure and right-sized. Remember Anna, our Streamward admin? She found out that overnight identity threat protection prevented a supply chain attack on their partner over at News Media. This is where the power of orchestration comes in. Identity Threat Protection detected it and kicked off a security access review in Okta Identity Governance, and it assigns a task over to the partner admin. Now, to show you how that looks, we'll return to Jason, the admin over at News Media. As is often the case, News Media doesn't have the same security standards as Streamward. But that's okay, because Governance Analyzer with Okta AI provides AI-generated summaries to guide quick, targeted security remediations. In this example, the AI-generated summary surfaces that there was a separation of duties conflict for one of Jason's users while there was session risk detected by Identity Threat Protection. The entire detection and remediation was all orchestrated natively right out of the box. This is true AI for security in action. So at Okta, we are both doing security for AI, but also AI for security. And this is also a perfect example of how identity governance can no longer be thought of as a simple compliance tool. It is an integral part of a unified identity security fabric. All up, customer identity delivers secure, seamless experiences to all of your customer and partner identities before, during, and after authentication. By extending many of the same powerful Okta platform features you use for your workforce, we're empowering you to apply the same level of comprehensive security to every type of user, including your customers and business partners. Now, it's not enough for an identity security fabric to cover every identity type and every use case. It must also extend to every resource, from the cloud to on-prem. To show you how we do just that, please welcome to the stage Okta's Chief Technology Officer, Abhi Sawant.
How's everyone doing? Thank you. Jack's right. An identity security fabric must extend to every single resource in your enterprise. That's because for many of you, your biggest challenges and risks are not in the cloud. They're in the on-premise environments you've been relying on for decades. As an example, Active Directory is still widely used today, and it continues to, and it's a rat's nest, quite frankly, of an application and problem. But it's not easy to rip and replace it, just like many of your other on-prem apps. So what you have to do is make it secure and resilient. This is where the power of an identity security fabric becomes really clear. Instead of using separate tools to manage your on-premise and cloud environments, we provide you a single unified solution that brings them all together seamlessly. As we build towards this future of this goal of bringing you the fabric and changing the whole industry while we're doing that, we're bringing more visibility, control, and governance than ever before to your on-prem environments. Let me walk you through how we're doing this in detail. We'll start before authentication. This is about getting your house in order, securing gaps, and ensuring the right people have the right access from the very beginning. As Jack covered earlier, Identity Security Posture Management, or ISPM for short, helps you discover misconfigurations across your environment in your identity providers as well as your apps. It scans for things like service accounts that were never deprovisioned, as well as spots that could let an attacker bypass MFA. We're doubling down on coverage for connectors and extending the ISPM connectors to manage hundreds of existing OIN apps. This goes back to what we're talking about, standards and integrations. But even more than that, we're actually doubling, we're going to add the ability for you to manage SCIM apps directly through ISPM. Again, here you see the standards at play. You build an app with SCIM, it immediately plugs in the fabric. But we're not stopping there. And today, we're happy to announce that we're extending ISPM to, you guessed it, Active Directory on-premise. Thank you. That's right, we're going on-prem. This is a game changer for protecting critical on-prem environments. To see this in action, let's look at a common but complex problem. Back at Streamward, or admin Anna, she continues to have plenty on her plate to do. But the CISO just called her and told that she needs to secure all Active Directory accounts and inventory them by the end of the quarter. Luckily, she can use ISPM to find unrotated accounts that have gained admin access through a hidden groups hierarchy. This is a common problem in Active Directory. Anna ends up finding a shared service account that is still in use, but it has stale credentials. Never happens, right? She uses Okta privileged access to vault the AD account and enforce security controls for end-user access, like requiring checkout and MFA. She also automates credential rotations to meet credential requirements, compliance requirements. Now, when an end user needs to access the app, all they need to do is connect to the domain server, select the user, click connect, quick MFA, boom, and boom, they're in. Thank you. So thank you. And now here was able to take a hidden risk, bring it under complete control, and simplify user access. Many of you told us this was a top priority right here at Oktane, and we listened. With Okta, you can now govern access to resources like SAP and Oracle EBS just as tightly as you do for your cloud apps. Let's go back to Anna's story here. Here you can see Anna has used Okta Identity Governance to configure entitlement management policies for Oracle EBS. This helps ensure the right people have the right access to this on-prem app from the very beginning. With Okta, admins like Anna have one place to manage and certify access for every critical resource, closing the gap between your on-premise past and your cloud-native future. All of that risk detection and remediation that we looked at happened before end users signed in. Now let's talk about what happens during authentication. We know that for our customers, identity is mission critical, and losing connectivity to the internet can be catastrophic. Today, I'm thrilled to announce that we're rolling out temporary offline access for Okta Access Gateway. Try saying that 10 times faster. While we're solving this very hard problem by helping you maintain connectivity to on-prem applications, even when outbound traffic to the internet is down. Let's see how this all works together by going back to Streamward. Streamward doesn't just produce the content. They also produce the devices that their users watch the content on, like TV, streaming devices, VR headsets, and I hear even cars. Let's see how this works. Meet Kibo. Kibo's an admin at Streamward. He's a supply chain manager that works on-site in the various factories. Unbeknownst to Kibo, a massive storm is brewing outside the factory, and the internet connection fails. Both the app he's accessing as well as the Okta Access Gateway, so Oracle EBS and Okta Access Gateway, are deployed on-premise in the factory. Here, even with no connection to the internet, you can see that Kibo can both access the Oracle EBS app that he needs with phishing-resistant access without losing a beat. What you're seeing here is access to an on-prem app even when the connection is down. This means that Okta is always on even when the internet is not. No internet? No problem. Thank you. Now that we've seen how Okta helps keep your on-prem environments going during an outage, let's look at what happens after authentication. The next day, the storm clears up, Kibo catches a flight en route to another factory. In transit, while at the airport, he decides to get some work done and connects to a cafe and a Wi-Fi. Just 10 minutes into working, an attacker lurking on the internet cafe was able to steal Kibo's session token and reuse the session on their own device, risking access to Streamwood's critical applications. Here, identity threat protection detects that the session has been hijacked instantly, triggers universal logout for Okta Access Gateway, terminating both Kibo's and the attacker's sessions to this critical app instantaneously. All of this in real time. All of this for an on-premise app. Let me say it again. We just saw universal logout for on-premise apps. Isn't that cool? And yes, by the way, Kibo was notified directly by Okta that his session was terminated because they saw some inadvertent activity. So how about Anna, the admin? Well, if she comes back from her lunch break and she discovers that identity threat protection has already prevented a session hijacking attack on Kibo's account. All of this without her having to do anything. She even used Okta workflows to notify the SOC team directly. As you can see, ITP provides real-time visibility and control over emerging threats across your hybrid environment, from unusual login attempts to session hijacking. And by sharing risk signals between Okta and other partners, we help you detect and respond to attacks faster, stopping them before they can impact the business. This is AI-driven protection for your on-premise resources, not the cloud. As in the demo, whether you need to secure configurations in AD or secure access to legacy on-prem apps, it's all part of the same identity fabric. Okta gives you the flexibility and confidence to secure your hybrid environment. This is what an identity security fabric is all about, solving today's hardest challenges so you can focus on tomorrow's opportunities. Now, an identity security fabric must also support every enterprise with the resiliency needed to keep critical operations running. Your mission is always our mission. That's why global organizations across every sector trust Okta. Take FedEx. They know they can rely on Okta to deliver industry-leading availability and reliability. As you heard in the main keynote, we made massive strides in securing our own corporate infrastructure. This is core part of our OSIC, Okta Secure Identity Commitment, and has helped these investments make both Okta, but more so, all of our customers, you, more secure. This is why customers like you trust Okta to be always on, even when things go wrong. Take FedEx. With millions of shipments on the line every single day, there is no room for failure. They need to have continuous secure access to help the global supply chain keep running. And for the Norwegian Refugee Council, Okta running and being always on means that humanitarian aid is always available to those who need it the most. For our federal employees, Okta being on means that veterans have access to their benefits and that our mission-critical army gets access whenever the services are needed. Regardless of your mission, we know that you can't afford downtime. An identity security fabric is only as strong as the foundation it's built on. To give you some perspective, Gartner reported that 70% of identity vendors or identity buyers have experienced customer-facing outages totaling 50 hours just last year. Another major identity provider has had 4.5 hours of downtime in 2025. Okta has had no global outages in the same time period. We build Okta to be always on, even when things go wrong. And in the event of a complete regional outage, we get you back in under an hour. And when every second counts, enhanced disaster recovery cuts that regional failover time to less than 5 minutes. We announced this functionality last year in North America, and now it's rolling out globally. You'll also be able to trigger self-service enhanced disaster recovery in the same rollout and time period. And it's not enough for Okta to be always on. Your mission is global, so we need to be wherever you operate. Global leaders like JetBlue, Wyndham Hotels and Resorts, and Hitachi rely on Okta to protect their identity infrastructure wherever their users are. That's why we're thrilled to announce a major global expansion with new Okta sales in Canada and India. We're bringing Okta's performance, resiliency, and compliance to these key regions so you can meet your data residency goals, serve your customers wherever they are. To recap, our message is quite simple. The complexity you face is only increasing. Attackers are getting smarter. And the demand for your organizations to do more, to innovate faster, especially with the advent of AI, has never been greater. A scattered collection of point solutions is no longer a viable strategy. You need a single identity security fabric that secures every identity and every use case, from your customers, employees, partners, and yes, AI agents. One that protects every resource from the cloud to your on-premise environment. And one that is built on and drives open standards like IPSIE, cross-app access, single logout, and so much more. The Okta platform gives you the confidence to say yes to what's next. And with that, please join us later here for a detailed breakdown of the roadmap. And thank you for joining, and enjoy the rest of Oktane.